Hello to another episode of the Soap Filler podcast. My name is Rali Georg, and my guest today is the artist Mariya Mileva, and we will going to talk about many things, about not only photography, nude art, portraits, the connection to the body, the way how you found this therapeutical art, let's say, to connect to your body, how you help your clients and people who come to you to connect or reconnect to their body, and much more. Thank you so much for being my guest. Thank you for hosting the podcast in your studio in Pobleno today. It's the art project Pobleno, right? And yeah, welcome.
Thank you for having me, and very welcome. Very happy to have you here.
Thank you. So let's start with how your journey with photography started. How this passion, how this the necessity to create art in that way began for you?
Well, it was a bit strange. In the beginning, I was amazed by photographs of naked women, fine art photographs. This was in the beginning when I got my computer back in the days with the internet, and I was looking for images to represent my emotions. I am not coming from a family where art was a main thing, so I kind of made my way through it. And this was I remember one of the first things, to find a way to represent my emotions through images. It was very strange. I don't know, now not so much, but at that time. Yeah. And I started looking at fine art nude photographs of women, and I thought how beautiful they are and how beautiful they look. And at that time I had serious issues with my body and my own self-acceptance, and I thought my body would never look like this. And basically was one admiration of these women and these photographs. So I was, at that time, I was doing dancing classes. I was always wanted to dance, and dance was part of what was my big dream, basically. But finding photography made me leap more towards photography than dance. I realized that I might not be a professional dancer, but if I have to choose, this was straight after school. If I have to choose now a path to go, I would choose photography. And I had no idea why or where I'm gonna go. I just wanted to take portraits and nudes, and that's it.
Always other people, like not so much nature or other.
Yes, always being people. Majority portraits for people, but the fine art nudes were always part of my side. My dad was very creative, and he had these pictures of my mom hidden in the drawers in the house with like lingerie, and I used to feel strange, like, why are these images? Now I understand. Now I understand when you now I understand when you grow up, people do things like this. But that was one thing that I had it there. And then we were very open about nudity. I would say open, like a
natural
open
thing.
Yeah, open family. Like it wasn't something that was very taboo in my family. It wasn't something to show off, but it wasn't really taboo.
Something
the
like
sexuality,
covered with shame, or something, just something natural, something. Yeah.
Yes, and my mom and dad used to dance a lot when we had guests, and all these like affection. I grew up seeing this as a normal example of family.
Oh, lucky you. That's beautiful. And what do you see when you see the picture, or even in the process of making it, the face, the body, or the story behind it, or the beauty of forms, light, shapes? what is the most fascinating thing you think, and how people like who has been photographed, like having those pictures, how they interpret them and how they like what they see. What do you think?
I hope they see themselves beautiful. This is from my side. And what I see for the portrait is always the eyes. The eyes are very, they say the eyes are a window to the soul, but I'm also amazed from the colors. And the eye is something that is like a sphere, like a crystal thing. So when the light hits it, illuminates the inside and you see the colors. It has textures, it has colors, and it's different than any other part of the body. Something, and it looks like in water at the same time. I find it really, really amazing. So I don't know why I was drawn towards portraits, but I wanted to have to portrait people in these like very beautiful portraits where they like themselves and they look good, you know, the eyes, and not necessarily smiling or something, but more
Something like to capture the most beautiful moment and sight from someone.
yes,
Maybe that's
yes.
what they cannot see.
That also, yes.
Yeah.
And also because I was so amazed and always in a way through this body image and dance and the body, and there always been people for me. Like I've done many other different type of photography, but it always comes down to portraits, for expression of the artist, the person, the yes, the telling the story, but with a portrait, and also stories, but in a way of more editorial, like how they live, where they live. Like I like taking portraits of artists, including musicians or painters, but not necessarily on stage. For example, I love music and I love going to gigs and everything, but if you ask me, I would rather have these musicians with their instruments.
The whole band
studio.
here?
Yeah, yeah. The whole band here can fit. And to have them with the instruments in the studio or in like an environment where they are with themselves, by themselves, with the music, but not on stage. On stage is a different experience. It's beautiful, but it's a different experience.
Yeah.
And the photos are different. They're good because you have all the light and all the emotions, but also I like it more editorial, more intimate in that way. Yes, more intimate. I've always been more intimate. Like, for example, weddings, I don't like photographing weddings because it's too many people. But if I have the couple separate, that's a different story for me.
Yeah,
Yes, I like the a bit to have things slowed down a bit more quiet, slowly, more intimate, a few people, not a whole village.
Yeah, I understand, absolutely. And the nude photography is something very intimate too. And as you also mentioned, the body image, like with those, social media and so on. There is a lot of, shame. There is a lot of non-acceptance through our bodies, and how a nude photography session or a few like beautiful pictures, seeing our body from another perspective, helps to reconnect, to see more, to know ourselves more, to accept ourselves more, to love ourselves more. Or how it's the way, I mean, we've been talking about this many times, and that's the expression I got. Like, but how do you see it? How it helps you to express your art and the way you see life, and how it helps also the people who are, who dare to get naked and to stay there, like really, like in a birthday suit.
That's what they say, the birthday suit.
Birthday suit. So like when everything's falling down and we are like not only naked but really vulnerable. There is no protection. There's nothing else, and also there are many questions, but yeah, this the last one. I mean, this is can you imagine how people trust you to come here and to just, you know, men, women, whatever, just be there, be themselves. And it's difficult for people to stay alone in front of a mirror and to take a look. And many of us, everybody has something that's, you know, some part, some thing, some whatever. It's not so loved and accepted as we would like to, have it. But and to show that in front of someone else who is also capturing it, this is more than trust. This is just like, you know, opening up, and it's also very like healing for the people who are coming here. You know, like really, I'm letting go everything, and I trust that, you know, the most beautiful parts are coming out. And how do you feel about it?
Yes, this is, as you said it now, yes, I do hope they leave here happier and more with acceptance to themselves. And as you said it now, it is a huge trust. Like, I cannot be more grateful than this, because this is absolutely the vulnerability. It's being there naked, but also captured, right? Which is, you have no control what's gonna be captured, where it's gonna be captured, you know? And when I started my journey, I had issues with my own acceptance. So I wanted to have these images, photos like this, but I didn't want it to allow anybody else to take photos of me, because, yeah, this is very interesting, because I didn't like myself. I thought my body is fat, bad, not good enough, all these things, because I was told from family members, you know, this was my experience, that my body is not enough, it's not beautiful, and that's it. And I used to have issues with my skin as well. So on top of that, you know, as a woman, it's like when there are more than 2-3 things, it gets really complicated. And at that age, it's also, you know, growing up, you don't know how to behave, what is good, what is bad, you know, you don't understand that certain things will, when you grow, they will not matter, you know, certain things will change, for example, skin issues or like weight, you know, that you can go and exercise and, you know, things will change. So I started photographing myself, and it was very strange because I don't know why, I just started doing it, and it turned out, and I started experimenting, started learning about Photoshop, about editing. So I started leaning and trying to make my images looking like those images I've seen and admired. And obviously I couldn't just tell my friends, take your clothes off, I want to take some nudes.
You could, but
this wasn't. Yeah, this wasn't something. I used my friends for portraits, but the nudes were very personal to me. I always used to do it, and I would always post or show something that it's not necessarily super sexualized, and you don't necessarily see that it's me. So it's always been that mystery about, like, you see the body, you admire the body as an object, as maybe you see a story, maybe not, but you don't relate it to the person, which I like, because I do see the body as an object in a way.
Yeah.
And this photographing myself helped me get in touch more and in tune with my own body. I left Bulgaria, where I'm from,
Where we are from,
to study photography. So I went to England to study photography. Nobody in my family has done this. For me, it was like, I'm going. Nobody believed I would go, but things aligned as they did, and I went. And then there was a shock, culture shock, language shock, everything was shocking. And I went there to study photography, to express myself more, but I was so blocked of stress and anxiety that I didn't know I had at that time, that I didn't know where to start, or how to do my projects, for example. And I remember my tutor told me, in the first project, what do you like photograph? What do you love photographing? And I was like, I love the sky, the sun, the beach, because I'm coming from Varna, you know, Bulgaria, and this is what we have.
Seaside, yeah.
And then I'm going in the middle of the island where there's like cloudy, no beach, no sun. It's like, what am I doing here? And then because we were studying classic photography in the beginning, so there was a few photographers that would do close-ups, body close-ups, body parts that you see as an abstract, but you can't really tell what this is, what the part is. And I found it fascinating because I love the skin in general. I love skin. I love the texture. I love in the sun it has a little bit of like a golden reflection. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And skin is something, it's our biggest organ as well. And you cut it and it heals. You burn it and it heals. It changes. It gets darker, lighter. You know, it's something that changes all the time. And for me, it's very fascinating as a texture. You know, and then he told me, "What do you like photographing?" So I said, "Well, close up body parts, nude." And he was like, "Well, go and do this." I'm like, how?
Who?
And then I asked one of my classmates, who was a tall boy with good, boy, not a woman, which isn't interesting, good physicality. And my idea was to take, obviously boys are easier to get undressed, so you take the top off and it's fine.
Yeah.
So we did only front and back, mainly back, a little bit of hands, a little bit of neck, you know, close-ups. And because he was lean, he is lean, like tall and lean, so you can see the muscles as well.
Wow.
So I snapped a few, like a whole, we did it on film. That was the thing, it had to be on film. Yes, not on digital.
Wow.
Yes, and they were black and white on film close-ups. I still have them somewhere I can share with you.
Wow.
Yes. And I went back to class, and this was it. Like, this was the thing. My tutor saw it, I saw it, I felt that there's something here that's going on. So he pushed me to explore more. So I started doing even more self-portraits. I asked a couple of friends to pose for me as well in those type of photographs. And short, like a year after this, I've lost my dad, which really affected me emotionally. And I continued living and studying in the UK. So I had nobody but myself in myself. And all these emotions affected my body because I was overeating. I was, you know, in a way hurting myself because I feel the pain, you know, all these like,
It's a circle.
yeah, the circle. Yes, it goes around and around and around. And what do? I point the camera towards me and I take portraits and photographs. And obviously, at that time, I didn't like my body even more because there were skin issues, weight issues, but I would still turn the camera and I would photograph it in a way that I like it. Maybe until here, or maybe just like movement. This is when I started playing with movement, like photographs that look like paintings. So if you put the shutter speed slower and you move, the movement you see as a flow.
So yeah.
Yes, in a way you don't have control. You have control to a certain part, and if you understand where the camera is, where the light is, and you know the movement, then you can create some things. But there's a part of it that it's like uncontrollable, like what the camera will capture, what the image will look like, you don't have completely control in it.
Wow.
And I love this. And in my second year I did another project with nudes, which was like self-portrait nudes called The Lost Soul, because of this, because I was lost. And the images were blurry, black and white again, blurry. Some of them, one of them, my tutor said that he liked it because you can't see if it's a boy or a girl, because it's like the picture is from here, my hair is back, so you can see it's a face, but you can't really see. If you look at it, you can't tell if it's a female or male in a way. And it's like the body is taken from till here, I think, so you can't see any breasts or anything.
Yes.
And one of them was like completely like a moving shadow, like a lost soul. And the other one was, I think, you can see body and hair, so you can
Why
tell it's a,
black and white? What is there?
plus, well, black and white, because it gives, in a way, more meaning. When the color is gone,
No distraction.
yeah,
Or...
there's no distraction for the eye, but and also you pay attention towards the information you see, the body, the yeah, whatever is there, the shadows, the contrast. It takes you more deeper, like you start thinking about the story more than the colors, because when you see the colors, the first thing that your eye sees is the color. They capture you. The color is first thing that gets you, and then rest of the things, but the color really plays
You wanted
a
to have the
huge
focus
role.
deeper,
Yes.
like...
And also with skin, as I had issues, it's easier if you turn it black and white, then you don't see the blemishes.
Wow.
So you don't see if it's red or black or blue, you know, it's black and white. And also recent years, I heard that if you take a portrait of you, even if it's now in black and white, your mind thinks it's the past. So you can make a piece with the past you that you once were, or if you want to, if you want to, if you liked a picture back in the days, let's say, where you liked your body or your vision, like your, you know, yourself, and you turn it black and white and put it in your house, your mind will think this is the past, but also you see in the present moment, so subconsciously you're gonna attract and you're gonna feel better with this image. I don't know if I explained it right, but there's some, like, a huge game with this black and white image for
because
for
earlier
us.
there were only black and white pictures,
Yes.
so we think that's from like picture from the past. Our brain see it like this, and there are some connections there. Okay, very interesting.
Yes, and also I wanted to add noise, like a digital noise, you know. So to make this with the noise is better in black and white. I don't know, and plus black and white is different. I like black and white nudes for sure, like more.
So
That's
it's stylish, and
that's why, yes.
yeah.
I'm not sure if I answered all the questions.
Yeah, well, yeah, but and also for your clients.
Yes, for the clients, I started promoting the art nudes because I realized that it's actually helpful. So all this experience I had, that continued. So I kept taking pictures and portraits, some of them black and white, some of them color. And throughout all this pain I've experienced, this was like an outlet for me, like the only thing I can go and take pictures. I kind of released it. I wanted to go to therapy, but I didn't at that time. So this was kind of my therapy. I'll take pictures, I'll edit them, and in the editing as well, because I spend time with the image.
Yeah.
I remove things or add things or change the color, or it's like I'm
Play
there,
with
but
the light,
yes,
play with, yeah.
it's therapeutic to me, like in a way like a painting, but painting is more physical, which gives you even more. But the editing part is also
More visual, more like,
yes,
yeah,
very helpful,
emotional.
because I've always photographed. Majority of my work is digital, so I learned how to edit, and this helped me to, you know, to develop this standard that I have now for my visuals. And while doing this for myself, I realized it's helpful, because at some point I turn back and I see all these images throughout all these years, and I saw how I've changed inside. And I see the images, I go back, I remember the moment, but I'm a different person. And that picture actually helped me, because at that time I felt lost, or I felt broken, or I felt lonely, or I felt all these things I felt. They were captured and kind of released, and then I can continue.
Yeah.
So that's why I say that portraits of the body can help you accept your body first, because I believe that every body, like, can be photographed beautifully and can look good. because it's a lot about shapes and forms and light than it is to perfect body weight or perfect visual, like any standard that we are sold in the media. It's more than this. And every body is beautiful.
It's the uniqueness of it.
Yes, because it's unique and because it serves you, it helps you live, you know. It's a machine that does its own things while we're sleeping, you know.
All the time, helping us go through this journey called life and do whatever we want, right?
Yes, exactly.
This is, and I think like so fascinating the whole process, you know, to making the appointment, like a client, that perspective, you know, you're calling or making an appointment, okay, you know, okay, well, I'll go there, like I'll let everything go and trust the process, being there, vulnerable, and completely naked and completely relieved from like everything, and then these, you know, emotions, and also going through this fear, you know, being seen, like really seen like no one else can, and also being captured, and then you see the evidence, like, you know, black and white, or like on paper or on a display, whatever. And then it's like, you know, the whole journey, and also the fear of being naked somewhere and being like documented, like captured, and something that, you know, something that stays, because that's the beautiful part for me in photography, that you captures 1 second and then it's gone. You cannot get back this thing, like it's gone. Time is like now happens and then no, but when you capture it, then it stays. You know, it's here, it's now, it's there. You can see it, you can relive it, you can re-feel it, and also with the body and the connection of it. What else helped you to accept your body, no matter what? No matter what, did you like the skin or not? No matter if there were, like, I don't know, skin issues or not, or maybe a few grams, or because we are very self-critical.
Yes.
I'm sure that it wasn't like so much weight, but you see that in the mirror. Oh. Like, you know, if someone else said, "Oh, you're fine. It's
Yes,
okay." You know, it's even feminine, or it's even like. But if it's just like, too much, too much food and not enough sports or whatever, and all that, you know, the dialogue and all that else. So how okay, the nude photography helped. And I'm sure it helps also other people too. And tell me about the mirror work. I like a little spoiler here.
The mirror work. Well, mirror work I found a bit later. So I kind of grew out of this harsh conversation with my own self and my body. And no, at that time when I was looking for a way to, I heard this, let me start again. I heard a book about accepting the body by Louise Hay called called Love Your Body, I think it's called. Yes.
Yeah.
And she speaks a lot about the way we talk to our body, the way we look in the mirror and talk to it. And you know yourself, and especially in the environment we grew back in Bulgaria, I don't know the Eastern Europe, but Bulgaria is harsh on this. It's always like, look at you, you're fat, you this, you that, and it's always constant insults. You look at yourself and you insult yourself, or somebody makes you a compliment and you're like, no, it's not like this.
Cannot even receive it.
You can't even receive it, yes. And this is amazing because it is the truth. We do this, but why do we do it? Like, we feel not good enough, but we feel that somebody else is good enough. We think that somebody else is good enough, but they don't think they're good enough. So it's like it's a circle. I don't know, very strange. So I was sick of treating my body like this. In a way, and at that time I had a partner who used to tell me, your body's perfect, your body's perfect, your body's perfect. I think that
You never believed him, right?
helped me. Yeah, I never believed. So at some point I was like, okay, why do you say it's perfect? He had his own agenda, but this kind of led me to find this book and then start talking to myself and reading about how we treat the body, the insults we do to ourselves. Let's start from there. Forget about anybody else who tells you anything. The things that we see in the mirror and talk to ourselves. We can't even look in the mirror in our eyes more than seconds. We don't look in the eyes. We look at the outfit, we look at the face, the hair, the makeup, but we don't look inside. And the eyes are window to the soul. So how do you see your soul? And you spend your life most of the time inside. Well, you spend your life inside the body. So everything that you see is from inside out. So you see your family, friends, partner, people outside more time than you see yourself because you're inside. So, but then this is not fair because you rely on their acceptance or their comments or what they tell you to believe what you are, and this is for me, this is not right. So I started with the mirror work slowly and surely, like slowly. There is an exercise that you do. You sit in front and you tell your name and you tell that you love yourself, and then you start saying like, I love my body, my arms, my hips, my this, my that. And the beginning is like, no, who you lying? You don't like this. You don't.
The mind
like this.
is going there and say, hey, come on.
Yes. But if you say one thing 100 times, if you say a lie 100 times, it becomes the truth, right? So I started reading and slowly spending time with it. And I think with the self-portrait, it's kind of mixed together. And then after this relationship, during COVID, I was living by myself and I had this huge mirror. And I have nobody in the house and I can't go out. So I realized that if I communicate with the person in the mirror, I feel less lonely.
Wow.
I don't overeat because if I put in front, I used to put in front while I'm eating, while I'm cooking. Sometimes I had a mirror in the shower as well, in the bathroom. So you feel like there's somebody around you, and it's good because if you're inside the head, the negative talk starts like, I'm lonely, nobody loves me, and then you look at yourself and you're like, oh, look at you, well done.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing? Yes. So I started spending more time with the mirror, like deeper. I would do anything with this mirror. I would do yoga, I would eat, I would cook, honestly, anything. And at some point, I realized this is very helpful, like more than I love you and I appreciate you. Get this also, but also like spending. I see you. Yes, you spend time with yourself. And at that time, I really needed this time for myself. So I think everything just came together in a way. And the mirror in the bathroom, I recommend to everybody to have a full mirror in the bathroom, because usually bathroom mirrors are until here. If a guy puts them in the bathroom, could be till here. I had one, yes, very funny. Okay, but this is the only place where you actually nude naked, Yeah, you go to a shower, but this is, if you live in a cold country like England, for example, this is probably the only place where you like fully nude for longer period of time. So accepting the body, seeing the body without the clothes, cancels automatically the idea about size, in my opinion. Because if you put smaller clothes or bigger clothes, you have an idea about your size. If you have no clothes, you just have your body. It doesn't it doesn't have all these like things which the clothes can make you, you know, the skin to pops out. If it's a nude body, yes, you can see, you know, if it's skinny or round, you know, you can see the body shape and all this, but it's more, it's nicer to the mind. Like you see the body as it is, as a body, not as a...
It's free from frame and,
yes,
you know, something.
this is, yes, free from framing. This is a very good way to put it.
Like,
yes. And also you see it like, oh, there's a spot here or a mole here, what's going on, like, is anything okay? We spend a lot of time, whoever is in a long relationship, like relying to our partner to tell us things in a way, and yeah, but they're a different person. And it's good to make a peace and to understand yourself inside and outside. Like we work on food for the mind, you know, reading all these books and meditating and doing yoga, everything, but like also like the body. This is my arm, this is my body, you know, this is how it looks, this is the shape it is. When I gain weight, I put weight here. When I lose weight, I lose it from here, you know, because there are 3 body types, 3 or 4 body types. And this is it, you know. You either have this one or that one. So, you know, it's like, it's not that complicated. We make it complicated, but because we are like unique, you have like this body type, but in this color, with this eyes, with this hair, it's like all made so perfectly. It's incredible. And another thing is, it's only one. We have only one. So this is yours. Like you came here, you've been given this body, that's it.
that's it.
You can change certain things.
Sure.
If you want, you can, but certain things you cannot change.
Well, then there is acceptance for it, and everything we cannot change. The only thing we have is accepted, right?
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah.
And what you do with the body, it's your business, and also will give the fruits in the future to your future self. Like if you treat your body well, it will treat you well.
Serve
after.
you
Yeah, it will
also.
serve you well, you will appear well, you know. When we are young, everything is different because we think that this body always going to be like this, the metabolism is going to be like
You
this,
don't care,
the hair,
everything,
everything. And then after 30, it's like, ooh, hello, like
Something has changed.
something has changed, yes. And I assume after giving birth is the same, what I've seen. I haven't experienced it myself, but I see that women change as well. Their eyes change, you know. I have this
Wow,
idea.
really?
I have this thing that you have this sparkle,
Okay.
and when you give birth, you can see that sparkle in the kid. It's kind of the woman. It might sound weird, but the woman loses something that goes to the kid.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's a bit harsh. Maybe because I don't have kids, but I've seen it like with a few of my friends because I knew them before and after, and I look in their eyes and I don't mean to look for this. I just see it.
Okay.
It's like there's the same. The eyes are the same, but there's something missing.
Well, maybe it's not missing. It's just different.
It's just different, or you just give part of yourself to the kid, because actually you do, you know, by giving birth.
Of course. Yeah.
So
energetical, genetical, all the parts.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
So I think that there is a spark that is being passed on.
How cool is this?
I'm not sure. I'm not a scientist.
That's
I'm
the way
not
you
sure
see
if it's
it,
the truth. But in my
that's super interesting. Wow. Yeah, well, that's a huge topic, of course, like the body after pregnancy. It's changed, and I've been there too. Like, you know, you have that, like, you believe with 20, you know, perfect body, or like it fits the standards you are, you know, like introduced to. And then after that, a lot changed, and something that helped me, that to accept that, you know, that's reversible. it's the way it is. It will never be like it was in 20 and after. But this miracle, this body is to first of all create that life inside, to like wear it, nourish it, and give it everything it needs to become a little person. And then to like, you know, I also have like stretch marks and stuff, and in the beginning I was like, oh, okay, I don't like it, you know, and you compare, of course, like with magazines, with other people and so on, and especially when things get intimate, you know, and not only with the photographer. I was like, oh, okay, this one. And then at some point you see a difference. There's like, you know, this body is such a miracle. This is like not a scar, it's like a beauty mark from that what happened. And then you see it like different, as you said, seeing the body as something that serves us, like something that is allowing to do so many things. And I mean, the heart never stops. Well, optimally it never starts, and like the all the cells and the renewing process and all the process, it's so unique and so beautiful when you see it like from this perspective, you know, not just like an object. It is absolutely, but like this unique genius functioning system we have, and the way we treat it sometimes. And that is a huge topic too for me, was like through my work also with Mirrorwork, meditations, and everybody you know has their own way and a journey, but at some points you wake up and it's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, you know, for treating you the way. And especially when you stand in the mirror and say, oh wow, I was so mean to you. You know, if someone else said me, hey, you are fat, or you are, you know, I don't know, you have this stretch marks, or you this look, I was like, you know, F you, right?
Yes,
like,
yes,
who are you to talk about? But if I'm talking to myself like this, okay, well, that's normal, you know. It's not.
No, it's the worst, actually. It is, because
yeah.
we need to treat the body as our best friend, exactly, and speak to it as our best friend, because it is.
Yeah.
Because we experience life through this body. Our soul is in this body right now, so the way it functions inside and outside, it's so intelligent, exactly. It does its work without we doing anything. But if we keep like telling it things, or inserting it, or feeding it bad, or abusing in substances, it's well, you're killing it, and it's not killing you. You're killing it, and we spend a lot of we pay a lot of attention on this, exactly how the body is supposed to look. All these magazines and all this visuals that we see of the perfect shape in every age. Well, this doesn't exist. It never existed, and it never will. It's just our body is a living organism that is dying, that is aging and is dying, and that's it. And we need to accept it. It's scary.
It's not. It's the way it is.
In a way, yes. Some people are scared. Like yesterday, I spoke with somebody, and they're like, "I'm scared of death," and I'm like, because they had a news that somebody passed away, and I'm like, yeah, but maybe because we don't talk enough about it, because death is equal as birth, you know, but we talk a lot about birth. We don't talk enough about death. And death is also when you change cycles, a death of your younger self, but now you are a mother, so you are born in a different way. Not born, but reborn. Yes. And the body is with us throughout the whole process, and sometimes it needs help, and sometimes it gives us that
care,
yes, to function. And it's crazy how we talk about it. It's just so insulting. And exactly, if somebody else come to us and speak to us like this, will not tolerate it, or comes to our daughter, kid, or friend,
Or someone we
whoever,
love, yeah.
somebody we love, and talk to it like this. No, like, why?
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's not that bad, you know, having stretch marks or gaining weight or doing something. We've seen so many examples of people that had a horrible accidents and then they survived without arm, without legs, without so many things, or changed in a different way, but they still, like, the soul wants to live and the body still functions. And they're like Olympics, for example, the Paralympics, you know, there's so many examples that this body is much more than we think, that we allow it to be, in a way. And that's why I think we should appreciate it more. And in my work, I try to tell clients and to help them, it's very vulnerable to take your clothes off, but I always say you don't need to be fully naked. You can cover, and we can fake it to look nude if you like certain type of imagery, you know, because of course it's with the nudity, and especially with women, it's a lot of hygienic reasons. So you can't just go anywhere and sit anywhere.
Well,
you know?
not only about women.
Yeah, but
I
and
mean,
with women, yeah, but I mean, because women, it's more complicated.
Yeah, course,
it's if the infection happens,
easier
it takes
to,
longer to heal, and in that sense. But also, yeah, it's like going to the beach. In a
well,
way.
it's different in public. It's
When
like
public is-
for some people, it's like the way they see it. I had those conversations with people like are like, you know, naturalists, and so I was like, yeah, this is freedom and nothing. Then, and for me, it's like of course I accept it, I appreciate, I admire it, but for me, it's like boundaries also. Like there are, you know, some specific places there for myself and for people they're like closer to me, let's say, and not like for everybody. And the way I see it, of course, when in a photography, and I mean when we talk about nude photography, it's not like a pornographic, you know, when you stay there and you know everything is like it's very aesthetic, it's very elegant, it's like it's not hidden but it's not like sexualized, and it's beautiful. It's the body, but not in that, you know, here, let me show you, like sometimes happens on the beach or whatever. Yeah. It's and that's the beauty of it, you know, that the this intimate part is staying and is captured in this elegant way that when you see the picture, your own picture, like it's seeing in the mirror or looking in the mirror and seeing the best part of it, like it is. And what about the talk, like talking to pictures, like you talk to the mirror, like, yeah, thank you for serving me, yeah, my dear body. It's the same, or it's like nostalgic, and then wow, it's been like, you know, you looked at the picture like in 10 years and it's like, wow, look, that's wonder, look, that's magic back there, and appreciate it.
Yes, you mentioned earlier about this moment that the photography capture a moment.
Yeah.
I've always loved that, and back in the days I used to be afraid of losing things.
Oh wow.
And I wanted everything to be here to remind myself. I was afraid of forgetting. I didn't want it to forget.
I was so touched that you don't want to.
Yes, but then you need to let it go, because you know certain things you might forget, some you will remember, but you can't remember everything all the time. You know, just life passes. Yeah. And this is also with photography, that you capture a moment and it stays forever, or as long as you see the image, and then this helps you remind yourself of the past, but also if you have a artwork or photographs in your house, I don't know if you realize, but you're living with them. So you put a photo, you can change it, you can play a game with yourself, you can put something that you don't like and live with it, and then something that you like and live with it. And by living with it, you see it every day, you know, you see it day in, day out. you see a different angle, different light, you know, there will be emotion, there will be something going on inside that you don't really realize if you have it, let's say, on a memory stick or in an album. If it's in your house and anywhere that you're passing, you live with it, like you live with people. And this is also
Conscious
powerful.
or not, it's there, you know, even
Yes,
if you
yes.
don't.
Even if you will pay attention, your eye, your brain will pay attention at some point towards it. That's why we put things in the house. You know, we decorate it the way we like because we like these things.
Yeah, and
So
we
if
feel
you
better
have,
when they're around.
so if you have a beautiful photo of yourself that you like, you put it on the wall and you see every day, you live with it, you start liking yourself more. It's like, oh, look at me, I look good, and everybody can look good. You know, that's the magic also with having artworks in the house. And it might sound selfish in a way,
No, but the
but
way
it's
you.
more like acceptance than ego, the whole process.
Yeah.
It also depends of the image, depends of the photograph. My idea is, yes, to have the people, the bodies as artwork. The same way you would go to a museum or you would have a sculpture done to look as an artwork, not as a pornography, not as an OnlyFans, you know, completely different. Even with the nudes, I don't like straight shots and pictures of genitalia or anything. I rather would have a hidden or with the light or a bit mysterious, like, so your mind can go and create its own story. Or look at this beautiful woman, look at me, how I'm sitting, you know. And it's to play a game, to tell a story but in a different way, more like sensual, more gentle, not so harsh. Because if you wanna see naked body, open an encyclopedia about the human body and you see there's everything. So, you know, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a photographer, you know.
Yeah, but it's so beautiful because it's like, you know, the body is a piece of art too, and with such a like photography or such a moment that was captured, it could be seen as a masterpiece. It is our the one and only anyway.
Yes, yes, and also as body is changing, so you have this masterpiece of your 20s and then your body is changing, there's another masterpiece of your 30s because the body is changing. And this is also beautiful to see the difference.
And the story that's going on through those years and changes.
Yes, because it might be a photo of your younger body, like beautiful, fit, ripped, everything. But then 10 years later, you take a photo of your current body. And it's like, yeah, I'm not that ripped or that fit, but that experience, when I look at this picture, I see the experience of how this body helped me go through all these years, carry a baby or survive an accident, let's say, or going through relationships or like emotions, because emotions, we don't see them, but they affect us. And when we see the image, it helps us appreciate how far we've come.
That's the thing. And you know, we live in a time where aging, looks, and everything is going almost in the direction from, you know, retrograde, like, you know, reverse to, and like there's some enough, like, you know, examples for people in their 20s and their 40s, and they like themselves more in their 40s, even because we can do so much and we can take care of this body and we can do a lot to remain it's the way it is, or even to invest more, and it gives us more back. Right?
Absolutely, and we're more aware of what we're doing as well. Yes, the body might slow down, you know, the metabolism and everything, but it's not that slow. Like, we can still do things. And you see it here in Spain. I'm amazed for portrait and art nude photographer. People here look younger. I say it to everybody. I don't know what they eat or breathe or everybody. Maybe it's the lifestyle.
It's the quality of life. And
There's something. Yes. Yeah. I think. It should be the quality because.
And happiness, and they're just.
It's different. In Bulgaria, people in their 50s don't look like here. And maybe I'm getting older because most of the people I know are late 30s, actually more, I know, late 30s, 40s. And back 10 years ago, I thought 40 years is, kind of a lot. And now I see them and you cannot tell they're 40. It's like, it's very interesting. And age is in the way, just a number.
It's a number, and it's the evidence of experiences and the wisdom that comes with it, and also another type of beauty. It changed the way the body changed, the skin changed, hair changed, whatever, everything, forms changed. But that's the beauty of it. Can you imagine we are born at some way, and then we're 20 and we stay like this forever?
Yes, that would be
boring, right? It's like a movie where nothing happens. Like, would you watch some movie like this? Always the same. No, but that's a part of the game. That's the beauty of it. Changing and also learning to accept that we cannot change, and let go of the resistance of this. Oh my God, I'm hair aging, skin, whatever. Yes. You have this privilege of aging. There are people that don't, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
So think about it. Yeah.
I had some weird realization with Nuria, the painter that we do the studio together. Obviously, she's a painter and she does lots of realistic portraits, and she draw them from pictures, right? So I go to her studio. This was in the beginning when I got to know her. I go to the studio and I see these portraits with wrinkles, really strong portrait, mainly portraits of mature men, let's say in their late 50s, 60s or something. And it caught my attention. I was like, but all these wrinkles, I said something. She said, yeah, this is very good for me because I can see all the wrinkles and all the shadows and all the texture, of the skin. This is what amazes me. And for example, look at this image. And she showed me a picture of a portrait of a younger woman that's amazing. And she said to me, look at this. There's no detail there.
Plain.
Yeah, it's kind of boring. It's very plain. And just slapped me in my face. And I was like, do you know that in Photoshop, I'm trying to get to this plain, younger version of everybody. And you just made me realize that all these wrinkles are there for a reason, and they give all this character. And it adds so much to the person. When we see older people, let's say, grandparents or 80s, 90s, definitely you can't stretch the skin, but
you can look here. It's 77. It's like
oh, okay,
but it's another choice, right?
But they do have this character, and the point was why am I doing this? It made me think why do I do this to people? Because everybody's like, oh, make me look younger. Okay, but you don't need to, because you are beautiful in this age. You were younger, and now somebody else is younger, and they're older people. So it's kind of, we don't accept this change so much.
If you ask someone, I don't know about you, but I don't want to go back in my 20s.
No, me too. No.
The way I was, and I'm pretty happy now. The being and the person I am. I don't want to get back. But why we want to look like this? You want to change and got the wisdom and evolve and develop, but not aging. Well.
Yeah, it's
that's work like this.
you have to give to take something.
And the price is it, and it's a beautiful one. Yeah.
Yes, it's not that bad
Of course not.
as people do it.
course
It's just the media. There's a lot of problems in the media. For example, there's lots of anti-wrinkle creams for women over 50s that are represented by women in their 20s. Why?
That's
Or like hair.
really crazy.
They started changing with, famous people, obviously, who have the money and the possibilities to take care of themselves
And the whole
better.
team was taking care of them,
take care of them better than majority of us.
And then we end up in a bathroom like with 3 bottles alone.
Yeah.
And we expect the same.
Yes, exactly. And it's like, no, it doesn't work like this.
No.
It's just, or like an image. Last week I had this other realization. I follow this, I'm not going to say the name, famous person on Instagram, right? And I've been following her for some time, and I'm kind of aware how she looks right now, how the body looks right now. She used to be fitter, now she's a bit more chubbier. That's okay, no judgment. It's just how it is. And then I see a publication from a magazine, a photo shoot with her, and I see the images, and straight away I'm like, this is Photoshop. There was one photo that the arm was on the side, and we know that this is always a spot for women to be careful. That women don't like their arms because their arms usually build like fat, depending on the body structure. But the arm is it's a thing that if you have to make something slimmer, and you see this probably would be it. You can do it with like positioning, with some hair, with some, if you have, let's say, a clothes like this, that will help hide some of the little fat that comes out. Anyways, the point was, I see this publication. The day after, I see a photo of her that on an event in public that somebody took and posted. So
like without editing,
without editing, as it is. You see those pictures, they're different. They're the same person. And it's like, we keep living in this life where we think that the publications are the real thing.
And then me as an average person is looking at that magazines is like, oh, look at these arms, and then look at my
I used to get depressed, like proper depressed, when I would take the picture of the person, I will do the editing, liquefy the body and everything. I know what I can do with an image. And yet I see a magazine cover and I get like, my body's not good enough, I'm fat, I'm this and that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the doctor.
But you know what they've done with the picture,
and still I do it. Still I fall into the trap, and I caught myself falling, and I was like, whoa, this is weird, because you actually, now, before you didn't know, now you actually know. Now you can actually give the same service to anybody, who wants it, and you still get.
And can you imagine how it is for someone who doesn't know like what is all behind? It's like, it looks so perfect, and they're training, and look, and then that we compared, and when we are not in that conscious place where it doesn't matter anyway, but the mind is like it just never stops.
It never stops
saying something, and thank you so much. For being so open, for being so vulnerable, for sharing your story too. It's also a very personal one, and I'm sure that every one of us can relate to many of those things. I'm sure that everybody has some point, some part, some spot, whatever that's that needs a little bit more love and appreciation and acceptance. And now there's another way with Mirrorwork, with nude photography, and this kind of art, and to see ourselves, to accept ourselves, to love ourselves more. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
being my guest, for having us here. Thank you.